going on, Bulls fans? Welcome into the Bulls Report. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, we got a loaded one for you guys, as apparently Chicago Bulls rejected a massive trade offer for Coby White. Is this true? Is it not true? A lot of speculation around this supposed trade offer for Coby, so we'll break it down. And then also, Josh Giddey, we got the latest around him as the Bulls can actually start contract negotiations with him since NBA Finals is wrapped up. But with the NBA Draft starting this Wednesday, if you guys want the Bulls to crush the 2025 NBA Draft, go down there, hit that thumbs up icon. I put today's goal as over 200 likes. So if you guys could help us reach that goal, just hit that thumbs up icon on today's show. It helps us get this Bulls video out to more and more Bulls fans. So hit that thumbs up button if you guys want the Bulls to crush the 2025 NBA Draft. All right, so it was Locked On Bulls who had this report that apparently the Magic, before they traded for Desmond Bane in that 5 first-round pick haul with Cole Anthony, apparently they offered Cole Anthony, Jonathan Isaac, and 2 first-round picks for Coby White. Now, I don't know why I just am not really believing this, and I find this hard to believe. And honestly, if the Bulls were to have really gotten this offer and had said no to this deal, a lot of concerns because they have made it crystal clear. They want to make a decision between Josh Giddey and Coby White. And if the Magic pretty much gave you an out to that tough decision you have to make, why wouldn't they just accept that offer? However, this is the Chicago Bulls. Clearly, they have been overvaluing their own players for the last couple of years, which is why it made it, so hard to get a Zach LaVine trade done, a DeMar DeRozan trade done, or, still Nikola Vucevic is on this team. But, a lot of Bulls fans were complaining over the last, offseason or the last year or so. Why do we not get a lot for LaVine? Why do we not get a lot for DeRozan? Well, it's because you held on to those guys for way too long. And I think the same thing is honestly happening right now with Coby White. Because if you would have taken that deal, you get 2 first-round picks, a young athletic wing in Jonathan Isaac, and another point guard to come off the bench in Cole Anthony. I don't understand why they didn't do that. But let's just say this is true. And let's just say the Bulls really did turn down that deal of 2 firsts, Cole Anthony and Jonathan Isaac. Maybe this could mean Coby White's trade value is way higher than I thought. Because even here, when I'm, debating with some people in the Chat Sports studio saying, how much do you think Coby White could go for? I always say, a first-round pick, maybe a little more. But nobody once said, you could get 2 firsts plus a young athletic wing in Jonathan Isaac. So maybe Coby White in, the NBA just universe, that maybe he is a little more valuable than us Bulls fans thought. But I find that hard to believe. And again, that's why I find this trade offer hard to believe, is because I just think there's no way that the Magic offered that. Now, maybe that was the Magic's backup plan if they did not, or if they weren't able to acquire Desmond Bane, they were just going to throw all that at Coby White. But still, I find that hard to believe. And listen, Coby, he had that monster month of March where he was almost averaging 30 points per game, incredibly efficient from the field and beyond the arc as well. But still, I still have major question marks with who Coby White is as a player because, March basketball can be very deceiving. Half the league is tanking at the time. The other top half of the league is already pretty much locked into the 1 and 2 seeds in each conference. And, there's a lot of bad basketball in March. And the last time we saw Coby White playing a high-leverage game, it was the worst game of his NBA career. Like, I have scars from that play-in game against the Miami Heat. He cannot take care of the basketball. He had 7 turnovers. He cannot, hit a jump shot to save his life. He was 5 for 20 in that game. And I always felt like when he is, coming off a pick and roll, which obviously loves, orchestrating the pick and roll and getting to that pull-up jump shot, but when you do have an elite big defender guarding him on those switches like a Bam Adebayo, we have seen him get incredibly neutralized. And again, the Bulls need to make a decision between Coby White and Josh Giddey. You are not going to roll out next season with both those guys as your starting backcourt if you are seriously trying to win basketball games. And the Bulls have also made that crystal clear that they are trying to win basketball games. And with the recent Tyrese Halliburton injury news, Jason Tatum's got to miss all next season. I mean, you start looking at the Eastern Conference, I'm not even lying. The Bulls might be a top 6 team in the East. And that has nothing to do with the Bulls. That just has to do with injuries and with how depleted this Eastern Conference is. But they need to make a decision between Coby White and Josh Giddey. And if you had this trade offer and you said no to this, I just don't know what they're trying to get done. And that has been the biggest question mark over the last couple of seasons is what direction are the Bulls going? And if this was on the table and this front office legitimately turn this deal down, I have even more question marks than what I already had over the last couple of months. But I'll ask you guys this because I'm assuming we'll see a lot of ace for accepts down below. But would you accept this trade? If you were the Chicago Bulls, Cole Anthony, Jonathan Isaac, 2 first-round picks for Coby White. What are you doing? Give me an A for accept. Give me a D for decline. You guys let me know your thoughts down below. I would have done this deal in a heartbeat. Makes too much sense, but I don't know. I also find this hard to believe that this trade was real. But you guys let me know. A for accept, D for decline. All right, let's talk about little Josh Giddey here. Big day for Chicago Bulls fans as it is official. The day after the NBA Finals, teams can start negotiating with restricted free agents. So that's where we are right now. The Bulls can throw their offer out to Josh Giddey. And, I'm hoping the Bulls could maybe land him on a 4-year, $100 million deal where it's $25 per year. Or maybe you want to give him more money annually and you make it a shorter deal where it's like a 3 for 90. But either two of those deals I would be fine with. But if it's anything more than $30 million, then I start getting a little hesitant in terms of Bulls bringing him back. But Bleacher Report was actually talking about Josh Giddey's market and how the Bulls should kind of attack this. And this is what they had to say. Dan Favelli writing this up, saying, whatever Giddey's market, Chicago needs to have a predetermined line etched in concrete. It can't afford to have another noticeably underwater contract on its books after last summer's Patrick Williams debacle, and with White speeding toward a mega raise in 2026 free agency. And like I was kind of saying with the Eastern Conference being wide open, I'm extremely nervous the Bulls are going to overpay Giddey. Like, I could really see a situation play out where it's like, oh, snap, the Bulls are signing Josh Giddey to a 3-year, $110 million contract extension. That is fully on the table for this front office because you think about the wins they have had over the last couple of years. Like, the biggest and the best move they have made is probably Caruso for Josh Giddey, and that's a win-win trade, and that's the best move they have made. And I don't know if they just want to be like, hey, we'll let Giddey walk. We just gave Caruso up for him, or I could see them almost be willing to overpay for Josh Giddey just to kind of keep him on the team since he did let go of Caruso. But I think they can't go over $30 million per year. That's the line I have, drawn in the sand right now. Like, is Giddey worth more than that? I would probably say no. But with where the Bulls are at, like, you can't give Giddey $33 million. Patrick Williams is getting 18. And then you just have a bunch of other guys like Herter's on the books for 17, like Zach Collins, even a guy like Trey Jones, if they bring him back, like, you start adding up these contracts. The Bulls, again, that's a big reason why they can't make any moves this offseason is because a lot of people are assuming they're going to go give Josh Giddey $30 million. And the question becomes with Giddey, can you have a lead guard who can't shoot or play defense? Because I'm not saying this is all the NBA has become, because we just saw SGA, best player on the championship team. His calling card is a mid-range game. But at least SGA plays defense. He's a 6'6" guard. He's pretty damn good off ball. Is he best on ball defender? Not necessarily, but still, when it comes with Giddey, like, can't really shoot that well, can't really defend that well. Can you get to a championship with both of those traits being attached to your starting point guard? And the one thing, if you wanted to argue to paying Josh Giddey a ton, is look at what he did after they traded Zach LaVine, and more specifically after the All-Star break. He was almost averaging a 21-point triple-double. He was fantastic during this run. He was shooting the 3-ball a whole lot better, 45.7% from deep, and he was actually playing just willing defense. I actually felt like he gave some fight on that side of the floor. But still, was that just, March basketball like we were talking about with Coby White, where a lot of these teams are tanking and you can kind of take advantage of a lot of these bad teams in the NBA? I don't know. But I will say, Giddey's still a very young player. He's 23 years old. I fully expect his game to continue to grow. There's no doubt in my mind that, when it's all said and done, Giddey will be a better three-point shooter than what he has shown. But do you want to go give him that $33, $34 million per year? I do not. Now, if it's $30 million, okay, take a risk on him. 3 for 90. We could rock out with that. But still, in the end, like, this is a very tough decision for this front office. Because Giddey is a good basketball player. He's young. I think he can be a 4th, 5th option on a championship team when it's all said and done. But can you roll out with him and Coby White? I don't think so. So that means you probably have to move Coby. Then you want Ayo to step up in that 2-guard spot. I also want to see the Bulls give Modest Buzelis a lot more touches offensively. Like, there's a ton of changing pieces here, but it does start. Like, everything the Bulls do this offseason starts with this decision that we say we should get before the NBA draft. But again, the Bulls could just let this ride out in the free agency. They could throw Giddey, let's just say a 3-year, $70 million offer and just say, like, hey, you go test the market. We'll match whatever you get. But also, if you play that game, very similar to run the Sacramento Kings when the Bulls had to match that offer for Zach LaVine a couple summers ago. They got in a tough situation there where they couldn't just let Zach LaVine walk for nothing. Could the same thing happen with Giddey? I have no idea. It is going to be very interesting, which is another reason why you guys should subscribe to the channel, because once we get an update on that, we will get you guys a video. But you guys let me know. How much per year would you give Josh Giddey? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I'm setting at $30 million per year. Not moving off that number. We'll see. I mean, this Bulls front office is truly one of a kind, and you really never know what they plan on doing. But we'll see you guys next time. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. As always, go Bulls.